Okay, I'm back. Welcome to Graze number 10. I've made it through 10 Grazes. Well, I haven't made it through 10, but when this one gets over with, we'll be done with 10 of them, and you haven't fired me yet. It's time for a raise. The music's like super loud on my laptop, but not that loud on this computer. Oh, we got a Panda on now?
It looks like he's here. We can
All right. Awesome.
stop the clock. It was only eight minutes to make the move.
it was a big ask. He had to change devices and room. Alexa, turn off the damn music. So I was going to open tonight with the big news about Jaime Dimon. Did you watch the Jaime Dimon video?
The one about Ether?
Yeah, where he's shilling Ether. So we've gone in the matter of like 4 months from cryptocurrencies being the end of the world and going to cause the destruction of all mankind to him basically saying, yeah, they kind of have a purpose. I kind of like the smart contract thing. And then the Bitcoin's like a pet rock. And that was it. I mean, it's like he's completely changed his tone. I mean, he still hates Bitcoin, but he's okay with. I'm thinking maybe he's not talking about ETH. I'm thinking he might be talking about Cardano. What do you think? That would be be perfect thing for him to chase, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, and then Franklin Templeton's talking about a whiff today that the Solana meme coin.
I heard that Dimon is bullish CVG.
Oh, what'd you say, Panda?
I heard that Dimon is bullish CVG.
Ooh, I think so too. He probably has one of the Pepe's Cogsy trying to buy.
I'm working on him. Look at this. Look at my lawyer, bro. I can't believe this. It was at 0.4 when I had Convergence on that first call. And my only choices now are this one, or just pray to God that Biscuit sends me one as like just to babysit for like a month. Since he's got 40 out of 113.
Have you actually hit anything on the Graze so far, Cogsy? Like what's your record looking like? Like you had the Polygon guys on, Napier, CVG.
Right. So everything that I've had on the call has mooned, and I've missed every single trade. Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing.
You don't miss though.
I'm gonna. Well, yeah, you just gotta listen to it. If other people listen to the calls and then do what these people that we interview talk about, then it's like 100%. But it's the actual action of doing the trade. I think is like the big step for me. It's like that joke about you got to buy a lotto ticket. It's a long one. Anyway, I'm gonna go turn up Panda a little bit on my recorder. I'll be right back. You guys can just talk for a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
So we've got quite a few ones. Come up on stage as well. Hold on. Well, can you hear me? Is my mic up okay?
Yeah, you sound like you're in a cave that's underwater.
All right, cranked Panda.
Cool. Yeah, he's I'm messing with his headphones as well.
I just turned off the irritating music also.
Yeah, cool. Let's go. Let's jump in.
So let me look at my show list. Hold on. Metadata update fucking when? That's my first note. That's for Dina. Dina!
It's a work in progress. I'm going to move everything over to Notion. It's going to be super duper organized, so I'm just going through it. But soon, very soon, I promise.
I think that I saw a whole bunch of like really big steps that you took, like the number ID thing that we were talking about, and like just kind of like the groundwork for somebody who's never you weren't assigned this until like recently. It was somebody else's problem and it just gets thrown on your desk. So it seems like once you get it streamlined and loaded up how you want, that it should be super clean, and if there's ever like any kind of issues, that you should be able to solve them really easily, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if it's just like not using Google Sheets. That's what it is. Just not using Google Sheets, because I can't stand it anymore. This is why I don't want to use anything Google. But yeah, it would be a lot easier to update, definitely, just in case anything happens.
Yeah, it's really terrible, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
really.
I've got the Llama Quest one,
Mm-hmm.
and that one, there was somebody that was in that group that went through and fixed it and like made it actually usable, and it's way better than ours. Like the spin-off project's Google Sheets is way better than the actual Llama Google Sheets.
You're gonna have to link me to that. I'll have to take note.
But it doesn't matter.
You gotta check out the new one though. The new one's on Notional, and it's really nice.
Yeah, once you port it over to how you want to do it. So soon on that, the twin stuff that we talked about like a month ago with Panda, is that like your top priority on the update?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the fixing of the twins, the solving of any kind of duplicates, and then a lot of people that had twins had already talked to the team about getting them replaced with a randomized one, or one that they were able to choose from a group of that we like of unused images, and be able to update those. So once that's like a big glaring hole, I think, of like the actual visual part of the collection, is that knowing that it's not finalized.
Yeah.
But then getting there now, and then like, and having you be in charge of it is like a big relief for me.
I'm glad I could help. I'm really glad I could help.
No pressure.
No, I'm super glad I could help.
All right. So that was our little update from you. How about I'll just stay with Dina, I guess. I might as well. This might as well be the Dina interview show. Do you want to talk about your other auction that you're working on?
Which one?
DeFi Wars?
DeFi Wars. Yes. That one's also pending metadata update, but aside from getting the smart contract up and working on that with Omnifint, can keep that one under wraps for just a wee bit longer.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. And then for the other auction, can I drop it? Hoth and Panda?
Drop it.
Right.
Do
so
it.
For Blockmates, front end's pretty much about done for that. Do I nerd out? Do I talk about what nerdy things I've decided to throw in?
Absolutely. Maybe we can drop a couple of pictures in the chat. Go on screen.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'd have to get it up and running.
Well, is my mic working now? I just changed. Just
perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, dude, you sound good.
But aside from that, I mean, it's going to look... No, it's not going to look. It's going to function the same way as our auction did. We get to keep the Keck GIF and the Settle GIF. I think that's our little special touch. But definitely going to be very, very much so fun.
And how's it been working with Omnifint? Because this is quite a cool story of having a very active llama who's been hoovering up a lot of badges, coming to work with the team.
It's pretty awesome, actually. It's pretty awesome because I came in with a big question back when we had our auction gated, we were getting a signature, and that's what you were passing in to be able to just call the buy function, or not the buy, I'm sorry, not the mint or the bid function. And that's one extra thing that we're going to have to host, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to see if I could like minimize that, at least have a little bit less overhead, and I brought up something to Omnifint, and it was just like this awesome meshing of just ideas, and we get a really super cool thing that you may not be able to see on the front end, but at least it's going to be super smart how it behaves. That's one thing. It's nerding out.
So there wasn't really like an official post or anything from you guys, any of you, the three of you, about Omnifint. But so is he coming out? Is he like permanent member of like the core team now?
I think he's just going to be hopping in his next like a month to 2 months to help us with auctions and all that, kind of like that, like a corner of the project.
So started out like he could have a whole story for himself, where like he started out as doing badges and doing bounties, and then just kind of sort of just stumbled into like the main project, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was in the war room, when the auctions, when we had that like a wrinkle at the very beginning of the project. So he's been active like the whole time.
Mm-hmm. He was, I believe he was from, came via Yeti. When we opened the war room, that was it. That was Panic Stations.
Nice. Trial by fire. Here's your interview.
Test and prod.
Fix this broken shit.
Really?
But we
why are you watching me watch videos?
Cogsy.
All right, so that's good. So Dina has a little bit of help with Omnifint, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to this guy someday. He's not the one that's like 12, right? Which is that one?
Alinara.
Like the little kid?
Alinara.
Alinara, yeah.
Okay, thank God, not
girl.
that one. A little girl, just a widow girl.
I love his old PFP from like a year ago that like IOPS me when I first met him in the Alchemix Discord.
I'm gonna pop his tweet in the chat from today, actually, because he is the little Dutch girl. Hold on, I can find it. But we've also, pretty similar to Omnifint, have been able to onboard PYK to build out the yield tap, the yield drip, whatever we want to call it. So that's like another story of us tapping into the active llamas. I mean, I think he was the first one to have a Polygon thread, his famous bridge.
The one that was easy for him?
The one that was easy.
It was no problem for me.
It was the one where he learned, like, where it was like, I'm learning Vyper this weekend.
So Chad.
Yeah, unbelievable.
PYK now. Yeah, so there's two badge completers that we basically went out and found out in the llama sphere that came and helped the project that they were trying to sign up to get badges for other companies. I mean, it's awesome though. It's cool that it's like that we have this group of talent to harvest from internally.
Like that, but that was like, obviously that's the goal of like the badge marketplace, is to build on this kind of on-chain credentials. And right now we've been seeing it like in our Discord, with the kind of like strapped together data, Hawthorne, leading it. And it's kind of like we as the team have been able to really clearly see who's been doing what. And it already allows us to tap into that talent pool knowing already like what everyone can do. And then the next stage is obviously taking that out, building it, and into this permissionless system that's on chain. You have the badges, and then it means that people deploying badges in the future will be able to do this all themselves. So it's kind of like a validation of what we've been trying to build.
100%. I mean, I think we've watched it happen in real time. It was like between you guys doing it yourselves and using these people that you found from them showing us that they could do the work, and Polygon. So like basically like the test and production people are the llamas and Polygon, and these people have like an on-chain credibility thing in my mind, and like in Hawthorne's brain, which is what he's the one that's tracking all this shit. And
my mental illness,
right? His mental illness, right, has to write all this down and pay everybody. So you take that's like a test in production, a proof of concept that actually works, and now we're going to take that and turn it into a real, like legit on-chain, badge at the all the stuff that we dreamed about is going to happen because of probably the next thing we should talk about, which is the grant.
Yeah.
Right,
just to chime in with that real quick, a lot of this is like a really duct taped together and like a manual because there's a huge human actor in all of this, and we didn't want to code too quickly and then have it not be right. Just as it all kind of matures and comes together. So I think the grant came at a fantastic time to start to stand this up.
Yeah, because obviously all of the rooms are hidden, and only the participants can see them. I'm just gonna drop a screenshot of one section of what the badge app looks like for Hawthorne and myself, so that everyone can kind of get an idea of the manual work that's involved between sourcing, opening rooms, following up, escrowing, payment. That's what we've been really busy managing, and building out an app now enables us to really focus on actually onboarding more people to use it, because we wouldn't have had the capacity, I don't think, to do much more in this kind of like beta stage, sourcing, finding people, speaking on their behalf, etc. But I mean, amazing work done by the llamas to build out this collective vision.
Yes,
totally. Because
that screenshot that you showed doesn't scale, right, Hawthorne? I mean, that's just you.
Well, I mean, it's like a lot of us. I'm trying to really get the flow going and just like how it works more cleanly. But yeah, just to call out, PYK now has his own room, which I think is hilarious because he's knocked out so many badges for a Polygon that he got upgraded to his own private room, which makes me laugh.
He's definitely going to be CEO. He's coming for your job, Panda. He doesn't even want it, but he's coming. Like that one time I had him on a call, and it was during that Polygon thing, and I asked, and I think I have to go back and listen to it. But we brought him up, and he's like, it's super loud where he is. Like he's in a room, like it sounds like he's in the middle of a war room somewhere. And I'm like, hey man, great job on the app you did for Polygon, that bridge thing. He's like, yeah, it was easy for me. That was all he's ever said to me, is that it was easy for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got 2 rooms now labeled, don't we? We've got, we've got the PYK lounge, and then we've got the Gen Wagie shitcoins.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we need to be successful right now.
Good thing. That's why we're here. 2 years later, this is what we ended up with. We distilled it down to 2 channels. Okay, so on track here. So the manual badge system that you're doing is going to be replaced now because of the Curve Grant. So the Curve Grant was awarded specifically for building the jobs, the badge system, correct?
Well, that was part of it. It's twofold. So we've got the main aspect for the llamas is the badge marketplace. which will plug into a new microgrants front end. So the llamas badge place will be a standalone product powered by the llamas, and the microgrants front end will be a curve product which we're building, and this will be a place where small grassroots projects throughout the curve ecosystem, throughout the DeFi ecosystem, positive sum, etc., can come and don't have to go through the kind of grants council or apply to the DAO and then have to try and find 15 million CVX. So it's going to be like a new place that's much more streamlined, trying to kind of incentivize, kick on smaller actions that we can also provide oversight to without taking away time from the grants council and from the greater DAO.
So the real value for Curve then is going to be that app, the micro app.
Well,
I think it's going to be like we can help more experiments launch quicker, and just act as this tool that both Curve and the whole ecosystem can really utilize.
Yeah, I think we saw it between the app and the microgrants front end is that somebody could come make a proposal to the microgrants council, and that could then be deposited as a badge. So the UX, there's a lot of synergy between the two of them, and then not only that, but the kind of the new Curve subDAO subcommittees, whatever you want to call them, can also plug in and play. So the badge app kind of becomes like an outward facing Curve tool that they can use as well. And we're already in talks with one of the subcommittees about doing some work for them, as a kind of like a first trial, and seeing how that all works out, which we can announce when that's confirmed.
That's an exciting idea that you just brought up, because that's the first time I've ever thought about those two being combined, that being similar to each other and running side by side with the badge app versus the microgrants app. Like, you finish filling out the microgrants app, you go through whatever system that we have to onboard people to ask for the microgrant, and then there's a check mark at the end that says, check this box if you would also like to make this a badge on the llamas. Done. Right? One click, go.
Exactly. I mean, that's like what we wanted to simplify it down to. We had a lot of discussions with the council members, with larger ecosystem players, trying to pitch this idea. And we're really happy that they've seen the value in what we're trying to build and approved it.
Okay, Hawthorne, are you trying to get in there and get a couple of things in? Is there anything that you want to talk about before I start asking about nitty-gritty on the grant?
No.
Okay, so no, I don't think anybody really has like an overview of how it's broken down and what it is. Like, we haven't really even talked about it. Like, the 2024 looking forward piece that you wrote, that FTV wrote, is like, it announces it, but what are we funded for? Like, how long, who, what has to be done? What are the check marks that we have to make to continue to be able to get the grant?
So the grant is vested over a year to a second treasury multi-sig. This is a standalone wallet that is just for funding operations. So it won't be passed on to the users. It's a separate wallet. We get it streamed through Llama Pay. The stream's running for the whole year, and it's enabled us to onboard Alex as a full-time developer, who was also an early llama as well. So that's three now: Omnifiant, PYK, and Alex. But Alex is coming on full-time. We can now take on Dina full-time and pay a couple of the other core members of the team. So it's funded the build of both the microgrants front end and the badge marketplace. And yeah, our plan is that we will revisit the Grants Council and tap them up for some more money when the microgrants front end is ready
I
and
like the way this guy
marketplace
thinks.
is ready.
This is why you're the CEO.
Well, it's so originally we'd asked for more, and then we came down. It was kind of like, let's do this, let's build it first. See where we're at. We've got to make quarterly reports to the council to keep the stream going. But Alex is I think very studious in that manner. So we're in good hands, and yeah, we just pass on the information, and they see that we're building. And then the major plan, or the big picture, is that going forward, we will be able to speak to the Grants Council again, and then get funding itself for the microgrants council.
Oh yeah, nice.
Where we can then autonomously, the council members, which will be voted in, we're still working on the mechanics of that, will then be able to, under the right conditions, autonomously distribute funds to the correct participants.
That's huge. So build the app first, prove that it works, proof of concept, show that give them a product, deliver them a product that they can see and experiment with, and then say, okay, now we want to fund this motherfucker. And say, people are going to come looking for $2,000-$3,000, whatever, for small jobs, almost like the stuff that we've been doing for our
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then we can bypass the insane work that you had to put in for the grant council and be able to get people. I mean, and it just grows curve so much faster because you just now, you just empowered like 1,000 people who have skills, small skill sets in coding or front end or whatever art, to be able to go and add on and help build the curve ecosystem, and there's not going to be any political shit and standing in the way.
Exactly right. Like we thought that the kind of like the council, obviously they've got to make some major decisions for huge sums, and I mean, it's great that it's in safe hands who are so so careful and spend the time deliberating what decisions to make. There's a lot of there's a lot of talking that goes on, making sure that it's the right project to fund, and that the terms are all right. But that kind of like red tape also stops a lot of participants, and it can be quite daunting. So this is a kind of like a way that we can empower Curve to kind of kickstart these like smaller projects, which you can take the risk on, and accelerate all of that, and hopefully then that spreads.
Yeah, think about what like a well-filled $3,000 badge that would add something to the Curve, ecosystem is so much of a small price to pay for any kind of like JJ's buy CVX correct website, like something like that, like
exactly,
just like
or like DeFi Wars, right?
Yes.
that's like a great example of he had to put out a tweet basically, I'm going under, the bear's been tough, and then like we're trying to do our part, like Convex did. I think Aura also gave like a nice donation, but that kind of thing, that public good, that shouldn't really have to struggle and write like a 10-page proposal.
And their value that they add is so much bigger than what it costs them, what they ask for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, in my mind too, it creates it creates a really nice opportunity to be more proactive and more like offensive with how Curve like integrates and what are the builds, and like just being more like nimble and agile. It's something that's always been really awesome with Jack. Before he was a full time at a Polygon, is just like you have these people that can like picture how the Legos that like need to click together to make like a really cool shit, and there needs to be a tool to help them, and often it's a really big uphill climb, and we just want to help remove some hurdles to allow everybody to run faster.
This is huge. So this is more details than I think anybody on the call has heard, or any of the llamas have heard about. So, overview: 1 year runway, developers for multiple apps paid, some overhead paid for the project, and the idea of being able to prove that we can make it happen, and then get a microgrants app funded. I mean, this is massive. What about check marks for are they requesting that they see that we're working on stuff and making progress at certain points, or is it like a no question asked type of thing, or are they going to be or is Curve watching over your shoulder as you guys are building?
They're watching over your shoulder, Cogsy.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
They're right behind you right now.
Is Mitch in the room right now?
No, Mitch is too busy trading GMAC. Sorry, I had to throw it in there, BJ.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got to make these reports, just kind of detailing what we're doing and things. I think they were happy to give us the grant. They believe in what we're doing. So I don't think of it as like speaking to a headmaster or your teacher and being like, you've got to hand this shit in by the end of February. It's more just to keep it running, and also for ourselves, it helps us keep organized and like on point what we've done, where we're going, and when we're going to do the rest.
Looking through my notes, trying to make sure I didn't miss did you want to talk about numbers, or are we just going to wait on that? Like, how much money was it? Because everybody wants to know.
I mean, like, I'd like to avoid numbers, but like the CRV Grants Council has a pretty public-facing address where you can have a look. I mean, right. It's not hard to do some on-chain sleuthing.
But you guys are funded for a year.
Exactly, yeah.
And you're in Mitch's back pocket for life. Got it.
Yeah, and I'm in your back pocket.
All right. Dina, are you still there?
Yes.
So you got a full-time job now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting.
It is. It really is. Especially when it's right where I want to be too.
All you had to do was wait, right? You just had to be real patient and just not eat for a year and you're good.
It's okay because I barely go anywhere. I'm like frugal jerk. Almost. I don't know if you've ever browsed that subreddit before. Just a bunch of people shit posting about like if they don't move, they might be able to conserve resources and like sustain themselves. Like, they don't use vowels, and sometimes they'll even type in Morse code just to shit post.
That's what you've been doing for the last year and a half.
Pretty much is not going anywhere.
Well, since you got back from Poland.
Yeah, but even before Poland, I still stayed pretty low key. Conserved resources.
Well, congratulations to everybody, to all three of you guys. That's huge news. And I mean, it's validation. And now I know that you're already working on it. We're 17 days in and you guys are already kicking ass. So congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Go to CVG. Talk about the airdrop, Panda. You want to start our very first? Is this our first airdrop?
Well, I guess like airdrop. I mean, we've got obviously the whitelisting for Aladdin for the protocol FX.
Yeah.
Around the same time. So yeah, I'd say both these. I mean, they're both pretty similar in the sense that it's a lock drop, right? At least for the treasury share. So I think that's, I think actually Convergence looked at the FX booster system. I think this is a thing that's going to be quite replicated. And the llamas is a very attractive proposition, having such, such active users and woolly anons. They're the right crowd to target. And if everything's being passed on from the treasury to the llamas, they know that everything's locked forever. Throw away the key. So I think going forward that there should hopefully be a few more. Oh.
So they announced. I was just trying to copy paste some Convergent stuff into the chat. So they announced that they are going to do a drop to the treasury. Right? There was a specific treasury drop.
Yeah, there's So we're in discussions with the Convergence team right now. The llama's treasury is guaranteed 50k. And then I believe there was a further 200k that was reserved on a first come, first served basis for the first 100 llamas, or maybe 200 llamas. Was it 200? Yeah.
Yeah.
And there seems to have been, like every airdrop, right, a little bit of blowback about I'm not going to get any, or gas monies, etc. And we've been speaking to some of the larger holders and other community members about how we distribute this. And I mean, we're interested to get the community's input into this before it's set in stone, as the other option would be that the llama's treasury itself receive the total amount 250k. Convergence is this fund built on top of, at the moment, on top of StakeDAO, and we've got a pretty considerable position in the StakeDAO liquid lockers with SD-CRV. So the thought is that we could, potentially use the entirety of the airdrop to boost our SD-CRV position. It also enables us to increase our farming of SDDT, which we can lock to further boost our liquid lockers position. And then we can pass that on to the llamas individually as yield, thereby, the kind of like the commie boost for each member, rather than just a few llamas getting lucky on a first come, first served basis, and the treasury having one. So, discussions ongoing.
But you feel like I saw that was suggested in some chats that you had mentioned, that it might benefit everybody better if all of it went to the treasury, and it got split to 1,111 instead of 200. Whoever can bot it fastest, which is me.
Yeah, and just a quick point as well is the airdrop will be locked anyway. So if it all goes to the treasury, it would cause our own a yield to dramatically increase, and it's already locked and yielding. So like if I have one llama and I claim the airdrop, that might not be worth the gas to really start claiming that a yield because it's already locked. But like Panda mentioned, discussions are ongoing, and we've been listening to everybody on Twitter and in the chats and everywhere, and we want to. It's awesome to have a partner that wants to do right by us and by them. So discussions are still going.
Yeah, and I think as well, like with FX Aladdin, whitelisting us and then allowing us to lock it. And then this would be the same thing with Convergence. That narrative of llamas. This would also be a kind of a booster program for us via Convergence, right? We could also kick back some of the yield for people that do special things for Convergence. I've seen they've got like a multitude of things running right now in their Discord. And they said they've got not that many participants. And luckily, I think quite a few of them, aren't like smart contract dev work. It's threading, making memes, really accessible stuff. So this can also be a narrative that takes off for llamas. Everything's passed down to the holders, but locked in its entirety in the community-owned treasury.
What a reach tool for Convergence that we have been. I'm thinking about I just realized they've never bountied us, right? We've never gotten a badge from them yet, and I had them on for the call. But look at how much crossover there's been. Like the competition where they bought the llama and gave it away, that was them, right?
Yeah.
And then all these members, there's 4 or 5 members that of their group that have come over and bought llamas. And
right, we've had like Robo, Biscuit, Wireshark, obviously. Yeah, it's
Biscuit
lines.
just swept llamas yesterday or day before yesterday. He swept 3 or 4. But these guys are it's a big time value add, the networking aspect of coming over here and talking to us, because I never would have known about them, obviously, unless I was they interviewing them, right? And then paying attention. And then now I'm all excited for the airdrop for them, and then now we're getting part of it. So it's just a huge networking effect, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the market's also paying into that as well. That I imagine as well that the guys at Convergence heard about us getting whitelisted. As I said before, they were definitely following the booster program, and I think loads of people will follow that. So it's a definite narrative that could take off, and hopefully kind of new ecosystem participants want to be part of that as well.
Yeah, it's a roadmap. It lays out a roadmap for newer or brand new products to do what FX has done, and with the boosters, and then to follow what Convergence has done. And I mean, they got on a call with us just by talking about Curve, that was we didn't gatekeep them. We're I didn't say to them you know what, unless you guys pay for a bounty for us to do something, I'm not going to have you on the show. I brought them on just because they wanted to talk about Curve, and it's just it's such a huge reach across the aisle to be able to to combine the two groups together.
Yeah, and I think Convergence are on with Napier, and they're going to be launching in March, so we'll have them back on. And I think that the launch for Convergence is coming soon, so we'll have them coming back on. And that I've been firing Grazes to plan at you as well, all with different ecosystem members.
Yeah, you've got 6 for me lined up, and I have to do research on all of them, and I have no idea what any of them do. So
you take 2 weeks off, Cogsy. You take 2 weeks off, and now look at you.
Yeah, look how far behind I am. I took 2 months off.
So I think Hawthorne, do you have one of the pictures of the time zone Graze management things?
Oh, that's my main job. I'm just your
that is your main
manager. Trying to get the two of you on a call together for this was ridiculous. Oh, and also anybody on the call that is listening live, we're going to do the Garrett show on Friday, Leviathan. It's at the crack of dawn, but I'm sure that they record it. So I wanted to get the grant announcement that we just did just now, and then interviewing them about the grant, what its purpose is, and all that. I want to get that done before we went on with Garrett. So now when he asks us about all of it, it's all been officially announced on our channel.
What time's that? London time?
Oh my God.
Here we go again. Here we go.
I just asked my Alexa thing. Hold on a second. Oh, in London it's 9:20 p.m. That doesn't help at all.
9:20 p.m.
No,
That's okay.
it's not gonna be right now. It's 9:20 p.m.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so super ridiculously exciting. I've had 5 coffees and I'm just so jacked up about this grant deal and the fact that you guys are gonna survive for another year and Dina can afford to eat food and not just like New York street trash.
To be able to type with vowels, it's gonna be great.
To be able to use vowels to save the energy of her fingers. Okay, do you want me to start like on the super sensitive alpha stuff or what? Are you gonna talk to me about Litra, Hawthorne?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Yeah, that's good.
I can post the contract if you want.
Yeah,
Do
so I don't know if you guys remember. You obviously remember, but like a couple months ago, we were talking about a project that's going to be like wrapping and swapping NFTs on Curve directly, and all the benefits that come from being on Curve. So that is happening. They are incredibly close to launch. I sent them a couple of my team llamas just to make the pools with. So if you're at llama shopping, you can look at those. but yeah, they are filling the pools, and I think we're going to be launching side Asuki. So those will be the 2 collections that they launch with, and it'll be really cool to be able to kind of pull off of open speed a little bit and be kind of more blur and also on a curve and start to like own our own liquidity and just be able to farm. Their team is launching with some like a lot of political power within a curve. So the gauge votes shouldn't be too long after. A little alpha that we heard is that if you vote, you possibly could get some tokens airdrop to you, kind of like how Convex launched. As we hear more, I will post that and be more transparent about it. But yeah, guys, it's coming, and yeah, it's on the chain.
There's a lot going on. It's a lot happening everywhere. Obviously, I mean, it's kind of scattered right now because there's like all the stuff that people that were like, oh, we have 2 years to build in the bear. Like they've been building and building, and then now all of a sudden it's showtime, and we're like, okay, it's time to pivot from being just laying around and being in a bear market and nobody caring to suddenly having tons of eyeballs on us, and we're on CNBC 24/7. The wrapped llama thing is super exciting because for me, I don't know if you mentioned that while I was going and digging through Etherscan and finding that, but was the concept of them being able to get incentives. I almost said the B word. Being able to incentivize the pool with curve emissions.
Yeah, I mean, it will be a curve pool that connects into everything curve connects into. It will be a wrapped NFT. So it'll be like a just how you're used to interacting with a curve and however you swap.
Obviously, we've had a huge volume spike in llamas, and we have decided that that was all because of CVG. So we've given Convergence all of the credit for getting rid of all those flipping bots. Now there's officially no bots holding any llamas. Now these are all real listings that are up, and you see that they're not like reposted every 13 seconds, constantly spamming the activity feed. So apparently, all we needed to really lift the llama volume and floor price was Convergence. So thank you, Odin. And biscuits.
Yeah, I think we've got to give FTV some credit as well, right? That was a wonderful piece that he wrote.
Oh my God.
Llama's 24, right?
I sent it to some of my real life friends, and they're like, "Who wrote this? Did you guys hire a writer?" I'm like, "Yeah, we hired a writer. He ain't getting paid, but he's definitely a professional writer. We hired him with a wink and a nod and a promise of future tokens."
Yeah, he was more expensive than you were.
Yeah. Oh, nice. It cost him money, like me. I spent money on llamas to be able to host a show. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, like the secret plan, obviously, with the CVG drop is just making sure that you got none.
That's the full focus of the team right now. Sorry, guys, we're gonna have to put this Curve app on hold. We gotta make sure we block me. Is there any way you can blacklist these 6 llamas?
Yeah, and if everyone could unfollow Cogsy today so that he doesn't reach 1,000
Oh yeah,
followers,
everybody in here, get on your grandma's Twitter, on your mom's computer, like Linton, for example. Go upstairs and get on your mom's computer. And can you follow me on Twitter? Because I'm at like 998. Kimbo, go to the coffee shop machine that you let all those customers use and follow me on Twitter on that one. Get your roommates, Linton. All of them. Okay, other alpha. What about what do you?
We onboarded Llama Risk yesterday, so can't wait to start getting things that rolling with those guys. They are incredibly powerful cornerstone just for not getting wrecked out there, and we're like and we are really excited to get to work with them directly and get to launch badges and build cool shit with them.
So when you say onboarded, I really honestly know nothing about what you've been doing with them. So they're going to come in and start bountying?
Yeah, so they have a lounge. How Polygon has one, and we're going to start. As opportunities come up, we'll open it up and bring people in, and just kind of like start to do that process and scale them into the madness. But yes, they have a badge open currently, or it's coming down the pipes quickly for some design work. So we should be having some more design opportunities pretty quickly.
Awesome. That's a big one. And that's cool that they're already like an arm of Curve, right? Or like in the satellite of Curve.
Yeah, definitely. And that's and then we have FROK knows is was a big part of Risk for a long time, and now he's launching his own project, and the llamas can partake in that. Our portion of the seed round is coming up pretty quickly. I don't have an exact time yet. I will communicate that as we know more.
Yep, And then he already has talked about in the public chat with all the llamas already. If anybody wants to prepare for the FROK seed round, it's going to be capped at 1 ETH per llama and 5 ETH per wallet. So if you have a llama, you're capped at 1.
So just before we move on to the FROK, I don't know do we say generate? I've never known like how to pronounce that. He's asking about the ETA on the yield drip to the llama holders. Horse, maybe you can speak a bit more about what PYK is building.
Yeah. So it's so PYK is a testing it. We'll probably have it just get audited a little bit just to be totally safe. But it will be we're trying to approach it that you have like and unlock a window probably once a month. So once you lock and once you stake it to collect your portion of the treasury, you don't have to keep paying gas to relock it. You will pay to unlock it. And there will be a window to access that. We think that's just a better UX as you probably won't unwrap it too much. And that also kind of plays into this this Litra integration as well, is that we want to have options to make what you like to collect a yield how you want to, and and if someone wants to make a wrapped staked llama, be my guest. But yeah, we're just trying to create a lot of opportunity costs and opportunities to to push as much yield to participants as we can.
It reminds me of the Commonopoly deal where you had to pay to list when he minted them for free or dropped them to you, and then you had to pay to unwrap them. That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah. So we I think a lot of them will probably just be wrapped, and that will be how they exist, which is fantastic. We don't want to have to each epoch have you pay gas to wrap them or to stake them.
Yeah, and I think a byproduct of this as well is some people just kind of buy llamas, forget about them like any NFT. So just the simple act of staking is, probably quite a few people will forget or not do it. So the yield is going to be directed at less people, right? So it should actually be higher than if I mean, we're not expecting that every llama is going to stake either.
Yeah, definitely. And the market will balance it, and I'm gonna be pretty interested to watch just how it balances out over time.
You want to let Infinity ask a question?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
GM Lamas, I have a question with regards to loaning on Blur. Would that be a thing, especially with the wrapped llamas? How would that work? Thanks. That's my question.
All right, could you just repeat? I couldn't hear you so well. Is it possible to ask again?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm just asking, because I was on the llamas side, and then I clicked on loans. I noticed that you can't loan llamas right now. So I'm just asking, in the far future, would I be able to loan llamas out or wrapped llamas? How would that work?
Yeah, I think so. We've been in discussions with JPEG, which would be the first place that we would probably envision being able to take a loan against your llama. They came back to us that we need more volume and more data over time. That I mean, if the floor, now it's at 1.5, if somebody pukes into a bid at 1, that there's enough data that they can see that that's just an anomaly, and then they can take that away from the liquidation levels. So it's a kind of like, I think it's something that will most likely come about when llamas is when the floor's higher, when there's more liquidity going forward. It's
Yeah, and like
sorry,
we can only control what we can control, and we've been speaking with integrations and teams, and we're just gonna keep cooking and building, and in a time hopefully we get that group hug to where you can start to lend them and be integrated that way.
I would imagine as well that once the yield switch comes on and there's a constant, yield flowing to each llama, it's kind of comparable to like a convex CRV stake, right? There's, you can say, a reliable source coming, and then the floor should really remain steady, or we envision it to, and that would be then a time that we would speak to them again. JPEG would probably be our first call. Dealing with the marketplaces, the NFT marketplaces, is pretty tough. Like we've been trying to get verified on OpenSea since we launched, without any success. So if anyone can go and speak to OpenSea on our behalf, we'd love that too. But for an NFT marketplace, it's quite tricky as well. Llamas is a multi-sig logging in with a safe. We can't even log into Blur under the multi-sig or OpenSea. So it makes everything hugely complicated dealing with them.
I think projects like Litra coming on and doing the pool is going to be part of the stepping stone towards being able to eventually do loans or go to JPEG and re-argue our case.
Right. I mean, like if you look at like Curve Lend, and I mean, it's permissionless markets. I mean, I'm hoping that at some point LPs are valid, and then you could be in like the llama pool, and you just take your token, your pool receipt, and then you just borrow against that. That would be the dream, to keep it within like the Curve.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to touch JPEG. You just do it all at Mitch's mansion.
I mean, if it works that well, he's going to have a few more mentions.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy shit. That's a cool idea. So we already have a curve pool on, an incentivized curve pool on Litra, and then just take that and roll it right into Curve Lend. And the LP token is a collateral, your collateral, obviously.
Yeah, and obviously none of this is live currently, but this is hopefully the path the next couple months.
Wow, it's moving fast. Or the idea, I mean, just the concept is.
I think the concept's really cool. Litra will also have a token, and will also kind of have gauges and bribe markets and the whatnot. So it'll be pretty cool to watch that project also come online.
Nice. Oh yeah, something just popped in my head. I didn't have my list. Sorry. FXN booster. Do you think that we need to go try to do like a group where all of us are trying to like push for votes to the llama project that will go to Treasury? Do we need to go like try to whip up some support for that and do like a big like a group post that we all post our llamas on, like llamas follow llamas type of deal again? Any ideas on those?
Herd together strong.
So just like a meme thread, and then try to tag convex on it, like try to get people that have convex to vote. I mean, who are we going after here? Like I guess like the FXN, all the FXN holders. Where's Wagie? Herd together strong.
Yeah, just while you're, I mean, like while you're looking at that, we, you know, as like a kind of like a trial run, we had Kmets on, with DeFi Advisor, what was it, like last month, and so we've been talking to them about like how you know what we envision it to be. The great thing is obviously with FX being partnered with Convex, we can take our, you know, like the vested drop, and then we can lock it over the year so that we can earn yield on it while it's vesting, and it's then locked as CVX FXN. So it's also positive sum for Convex, right?
Oh yeah, that should
You
make
know,
them like the idea of voting for us to
yeah,
begin with.
exactly. So like every vote for llamas is actually something locked on Convex, and then we can also lock on Stake DAO as well, like our other partner. So there's a lot of synergy to that end. Our first like kind of guinea pig project has been just jousting. I'm not sure what name he's landed on, but building like a similar landing page to the, you know, buy CVX correct, which is something I use like pretty much every day, or at least every week. So this was something that was is going to be like highly valuable to the Aladdin community. And it was just kind of like a trial as what like the llamas could offer, and just like testing that out the first time. But then going forward, you know, we can be in like discussions with them about things that they need. You know, like it can be anything from like smart contracts to like you know, Meta CVX, who's like the meme king over there, who's like a, you know, a new recent llama edition. And then we can like really open this up to everyone.
Hey, thanks for coming up, guys. Kmets and Wagie. I just wanted to say, like, going off of what Panda was mentioning with CVX, I think all the FXN people or all the FX holders, they know who they're going to vote for, and they're probably going to vote for themselves. So the low-hanging fruit for the Llamas project to go try to whip votes would be convex, I think. Like go after convex whales that don't watch FX, that don't even know that the project's going on, and go get them to like throw their vote behind us, don't you think?
Right. If you're looking for an incentivization angle, pitch it to them as if they're getting something. Because if they're not, you know, part of the booster program, the way they benefit is if they themselves are a llama holder. That's the way they can directly benefit themselves. So if you're asking for a carrot, that's how. Also come with a promise that it's not going to be market dumped. Any FXN that we receive, it's going to be locked, it's going to be staked, it's going to be claimed as SD FXN, as a CVX FXN, and it's going to benefit the ecosystem overall. That's kind of how I'd probably pitch it.
So to move the needle for us, for us as a group, like, you know, as the first partner project that Kmets is whitelisted, we could go to a, you know, say a 5-person or however many we think we could handle of whales, of CVX whales that we know that don't know about this, and say, hey, buy a llama, get a share of the drip. We're just asking. We come to you asking for your votes, and we use the Bernie Sanders meme, and we're really poor, and we want you to vote for us.
Well, quite right. And I mean, I guess low-hanging fruit, if we're talking about that, we know C2TP is a fan of the llamas. So that is about the biggest pool of CVX we could possibly hope for.
Yeah, that would be a nice monster vote. And we could also just become like the default vote for people that don't really know a bunch of the ones that you know, the boosters. And they're like, well, I'll just pick one llama. You know, like they pick the protocol that we've heard of, right? Like we just have name recognition.
Right.
How long do we have to go try to whip votes?
I got an answer to that.
Hey, Kmets!
What's up, dude?
Hey, sorry to surprise you with getting on the call. Like you show up and wake up in the morning, and then I just throw you in a live chat.
No. We're far into the afternoon for myself now, but yeah, no, I don't have any problem. So, we will be posting the snapshot vote probably within 12 to 24 hours. I'll say that.
Jesus!
We don't mess around, buddy. We want to get some FXN tokens to you guys. So there you go. So yeah. So I mean, we've been waiting on this for a while to do round 2, and we finally have our ducks in a row with all the things we've got going on with FX, and so yeah. So the llamas are whitelisted. They're ready to go. In fact, if you look at the community call notes from Aladdin today, we posted a link to the spreadsheet that has stuff in there for folks to look at and view links, and of course the llamas are in there. And so yeah, I mean, I think you guys would make a fantastic default choice in terms of if folks are like, well, who do I vote for? There's like 1 million names on this thing. It's like, well, just
Yeah,
the llamas.
There's so many people, including me, by the way. Just if anybody was wondering, I am whitelisted for this round. No, that's the entire setup for this whole thing was just to shill my own FXN vote.
Yeah, I knew it. See, he's already like deep sixing the whole process.
Yeah, the default vote should just be me. Like, I might as well be.
Cogsy is like playing like 12D chess.
No, I think I should just. But realistically, we should all go out and say vote for the platform. It all flows back to us. We're getting a Convergence airdrop and an FX airdrop in the same dang month. Like, and just go frame it like it's all the pie that flows into all of our pockets.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So I think anything we can do to sort of simplify the boosting process and really try to incentivize the folks that are actually doing stuff to help make Aladdin DAO sort of a more robust center of DeFi, and obviously the llamas are right there in the center of that. I mean, I think it's fantastic. That's why you guys are whitelisted.
Thank you. And I'm gonna get off my butt and go do some posts. And we also need to get Meta CVX in there, Panda. I think I already asked him, but he's on sabbatical to give us some cool memes for the shining city on the hill at the end of the road is when llama. We need your vote for our FX tokens.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's going live. Did you say tomorrow? My line just cut there, but is the vote tomorrow starting?
Yeah, and it'll go on for about a week. So I mean, you've got a lot of time there. So don't feel like you have to put something out like tonight, or else you're going to totally lose out. But I would recommend you get the word out.
And there's people who have swing in the CVX Discord, like Panda and Hawthorne, right? That could help that cause a lot. Like, I mean, you guys are well respected in that Discord. I haven't talked in there in 2 years, but you guys have, so you guys can go in there and and try to just remind people that there's like they can support us by just with a simple vote.
I would also recommend you kind of like rub elbows with the VE Clev holders. They have quite a sizable amount of CVX that can vote in this, and then also rub elbows with the XALD holders who also have quite a sizable amount of FXN. And basically, I'm just saying you can butter me up, Cogsy, just at your as you wish.
Who did you vote for in the last one? That's all I need to know.
I'm pretty sure I got some of Kmets' votes.
Oh man.
I try to spread it around. I try to be, a good booster.
Yeah, I spoke to C2 and asked him to spread it around.
Yeah, because I remember from your call, Kmets, the vote escrow Clev controls like 14 or something ridiculous number that we came up with some crazy leverage number.
Yeah,
each power.
Each VE Clev something like 170 vote lock CVX. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he still didn't buy. I don't
have any money. I'm too busy buying base schools.
Well, understand that's just like governance power. It doesn't. It means I'm wealthy in a very academic sense.
I'm wealthy in votes for my friends.
Yes, that's true. Yes, I can be a friend of my furry friends. Absolutely.
All right, thank you guys for coming on. So we're gonna go push and shove on the FXN booster thing and try to get some one llama votes in there. I'll wait till the vote gets up before, so we actually have like a hot link to send them to, and to a snapshot vote. And then Panda and Hawthorne. Anything else that I didn't cover? This has been a really long one. Sorry guys, we're almost like way over on time.
Maybe just the FROK, the details on that.
Oh yeah, okay. So I already pitched I just rehashed what he had already said in the FROK channel about 1 ETH per. You have a few days, I think, to get ready. Realistically, and it's going to be on base. So if you want to have some money on base to be able to put into the llama round, it's going to be capped at 1 per llama, 1 ETH per llama.
Yeah, I think it's 3 days from now.
Okay,
it's
so
the last I heard.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of time. There's going to be space. He said that they're probably going to be have 100 ETH worth of space for the llama round, and if it doesn't fill, then he would do another round and just lift the cap for some whales. So we should all have a chance to get to throw in a little if you want. And I don't even know where to start on that thing. Did he share the docs in the Venture Llama channel, Hawthorne?
I'm not sure. That's what's kind of been a little bit of the hold up is just trying.
He said
he
was going to try to clean up the docs. Yeah. I think we'll probably get like an updated version of the docs before the llama round goes live. That would be awesome to be able to actually show to everybody and just have it be public, and not have to like hide it in some Venture Llama channel or something. But the
Pandas on the website and the docs are on the website. They might change a little bit. There's been a bunch of us like commenting and like I'm helping on them. But yeah, Pandas posted it earlier today.
Okay, sweet. So he went on one of knows he's asleep. I think he's in wherever Europe, and he said that he was on one of his rampages with me a couple nights ago, talking about that whole bid to tweet concept, to buying FROK's tweets and like the one a day, and then the idea of the AI being able to create a newspaper front, like a picture. I mean, just like the stuff that they've come up with is just staggering. I mean, like, it writes you a custom story about what your tweet's going to be as soon as you win the auction. The AI writes you a front page article that it's going to publish. I mean, it's just like just awesome, fun ideas that are like every day creates hype. So I imagine it kind of like being like our auction.
Is this how you got to 999 followers?
Oh, by leaking alpha?
No, by using FROK.
Oh yeah, I paid FROK.
You paid FROK, right?
The money that was supposed to be for the seed round, actually, that was just one tweet I was buying.
Yeah, so that checks out.
There's 1,000 exciting concepts that Nose has come up with for this, and it's just right on the heels of like the AI. It'll probably be timed perfectly for the second generation of like AI hype, since everything kind of died down like 2 months ago or whatever, and now it all comes back, and there'll be like wall-to-wall stories on TV about how AI is going to take over the world, and then everybody finds out that OpenAI or whatever the new company that Microsoft's going to make is going to doesn't gatekeeps it and doesn't let it have memory, and then Nose just gives it the keys to everything and connects it to the internet and hopes for the best. I'm pretty sure Nose is the scientist from Terminator that made that original one.
Yeah, this is how it all begins. But I mean, at the most a left curve up a level, it'd be fantastic to see FROK fight it out as the meme coin at mascot for base, as that's kind of the meta currently. It's
there isn't anything like over there, right?
Purchase the. There's a couple older ones, but I don't think there's any clear winners. It's not like a whiff or anything.
So FROK could just like roll in there on base and just become like this crazy AI meme coin.
I mean, that's the a left curve take.
And then remember, we're going to be the like the first connection. It's going to be us and Blockmates, or the first two discords that FROK is going to be able to cross to talk across, and be able to pull information from from one discord into another. So we're like the very beginning use case. So we opted into the Terminator thing apparently. So when it blows up our Discord, it's not, we're going to say, oh, we didn't know it was going to do that.
Yeah, there's also a couple other private whale ones who will be connecting. I'm not sure I can say them on this recorded line without a helicopter coming to my house, but it's not just us and a Blockmates.
So it could be
a couple more,
like almost looked at as like a service, like a paid service for like it connection into alpha servers.
Yeah, and he has tweaked it to make it like private. Like I can't be like, how many times has a Wagie said blah blah blah. Like it won't do that, but you can like kind of tap into there. I guess like we'll have to see how it comes online. But yeah,
That's a cool
currently
idea.
there's a couple big like OG at whale servers, and then there's ours, and then there's a Blockmates. That's at least last I heard. Will be so it'll be kind of like you can ask it questions like a search engine of OGs to launch.
That's an exciting use case. I was just going off of the connection of us and Blockmates, and then the Twitter thing. Obviously, him being Twitter, focused, mainly on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I think as like a media kind of angle, it's a really brilliant concept.
That's a good one. And exciting, and new stuff I didn't know about right there. Trying to go through other notes here with you. Anything else popping into your mind? Or did I miss any questions from the peanut gallery over here on the right?
I think we got the questions from the gallery. Robo Odin is typing, but maybe it's just going to meme you. Oh, what's votes needed for booster? Cogsy.
Well,
Never change. Never
Just
change.
give me your seed phrase, Robo, and I'll go vote for you.
I believe CVX,
Convex, Cleaver,
ALD,
Aladdin,
LD, Cleaver, and
FXN.
FXN itself, yeah. Or Kmets is here. He can definitely answer.
He's like, you guys are idiots.
It's like you're all wrong.
The guy who runs the company is sitting here muted, and we're trying to guess what the stuff is.
Yeah.
Instead of just asking him.
Okay, let me. I was going to type it out. There's a lot. You can vote with XALD, that's staked ALD on Aladdin. You can vote with VoteLock CVX. There's staked out FXN. There is VE Clev. I think that's it. I'll have to double check on that, because some of those go twice, because actually XALD gets a vote for VE Clev and staked out FXN. Yeah.
It's like
all the ones you listed, Cogsy, are good.
You know that GIF with like Sunny in Philadelphia, like when he's like against the wall, right, and the head exploding, right? This just like, you guys have got so many tokens, it must be like this all the time.
That
one.
There you go. That's it. Yep. It's Charlie Day. Yep. Yeah. It's a lot of like circular governance where we were like, this is too much democracy. It's far too much. So there you go. We'll post it all in our Discord. We'll try to make it as simple as possible and put the deadlines on there for folks. So there you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. And thanks, Kmets, for coming on. I didn't even warn him at all, and or Wagie and Buggy tell you I was going to start grilling you. So it's really nice of you guys to come on.
I mean, like,
always happy to help.
Kmets has agreed to come on again closer to the launch of well, you know, all of the new FXN tokens. So we've got a lot to look forward to there.
Exciting.
Yeah, happy to jump on.
Yeah.
Can somebody buy Pilot's special for 5 so he'll stop listing it?
I thought about sniping it, setting up something to bid 5.
Get it over with.
I'm confused because I see it like listed, relisted, unlisted. Is he just like playing
I talked
with
to him about it? Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. So he keeps getting offers and he's fucking with them.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trolling the customer.
Yeah, right. Because I saw I think so the collection bid is now at 1.1 ETH, and I think he's had a resting bid of about 1.5 2 ETH, around about that, for as long as I can remember, and then.
Okay, so it's on.
I'm gonna buy it for 5 ETH, and then leverage, and
just get it over with.
Just get it over with. But then it's gone, and then I'm like, is this like a blur, UI problem? Is this? But I get, he's just fucking with the bots.
Well, that's all right. If we just wait a couple of weeks, the floor will be 5 anyway, so it'll get sold.
You can take it from him. Just set a bid for 5 for the specific trait that his has that's unique or combination of.
I mean, I'm not really sure that's theft. That's not really taking it from him. That's giving him the money, isn't it?
I think at 5, you would definitely be able to resell it for profit further on down the line. So I guess I have one more question about FROK, if you guys wouldn't mind entertaining it.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Has anybody figured out yet, as an investor, for my 1ETH, what percentage of the fully diluted supply I'm buying?
Wait, sorry. Say that again. I'm just
it's a tokenomics question. So for my 1ETH, what percentage of the fully diluted supply of the token am I buying? Meaning 1ETH is 0.01%, it's 1 or 2%, because that tells me a lot about how much I'd like to invest, about whether or not the risk to return as, an angel investor is really worth it. How much equity am I buying?
So just 1 F is burger for 1 ETH.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. I'm just getting that's my Euro poor catching up.
I haven't calculated it. I would just feed all the numbers in a back room to MD and just have him spew it out for us.
Sure. Actually, I could do the math myself if I had the numbers.
That's a good idea.
He's trying to raise 400 ETH, if I remember correctly. I don't know how many exact tokens there are, but it'd be he's trying to raise 400 total.
Where'd you come up with that 2,000 number, Irate? Did you just pull that?
But is that 400 ETH 100% of the supply, or is that he's selling 10% of the supply for 400 ETH, in which case I'm not really interested? What does that 400 ETH cover in terms of the supply?
This is actually a very good...
The number of tokens, I just found it. I was just looking at the docs. It's 420.69 million.
Okay, thank you. And of that 420.69 million, what percent is being sold to attempt to get that 400 ETH? So is he keeping 20 million for the team? That's okay. The other 400 is being sold off, 1 ETH per million.
So treasury will be 25%. Team is 10%. Initial liquidity is 45%. And then the Genesis is it looks like 20%.
So which of those is covered under that sale?
Post this in the chat so you can look at it. There's like a little chart in here.
All right.
Are these updated docs or the ones that were from the website?
These are. This is just from the website. I don't believe this stuff is changing, but don't quote me on this. I'm not part of the team. But Caddis found this and shared it earlier. I was just scrolling really quickly. You might be able to get some more info from there. But, you know, that's obviously a question for the FROK team. So, yeah, we should ask Nodes in that channel.
Yeah,
I've just jotted this down.
I've jotted this down, and I can ask him as well. Like whenever he decides to wake up or go to bed.
Well, yeah, I mean, asking the question, Wagie, how you just did in the venture channel would be awesome because it gives him the opportunity to just lay it out in front of us, because then we can adjust our risk profile.
Sure. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to digest that information I was just linked. I'm going to come up with an implied on launch FDV, and that really is kind of the number that I'm chasing here.
Yeah.
You know, if it turns out on launch the implied fully diluted valuation is like 2 billion, there's no opportunity for me there as an investor, and I'm going to avoid it. It's like 5 million. Yes. Okay, you know, I'm interested.
But yeah, I mean, like, this is why you've got your own channel. And
I never even thought about any of this. I just gave Nose the money. Like, am I supposed to ask these questions?
Yeah, and that's why you're my assistant.
All right, I'm gonna go wrap the recording. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me.
So, have you got any shitcoin advice for us? Like, now that this is all turned off.
Shitcoin advice? Absolutely.
Yeah. Hit it.
I guess it depends on where you are. If you're a small actor looking to get money, you don't have a lot to rub together, what you should be doing is you should be listening to Marty Party, and you should be going out there and pioneering these new emerging ecosystems. Your Solana, your Sui, your Sei, your Manta. And what you should be doing is you should be interacting with all the little DeFi protocols, all the swaps, getting your airdrop credit. That's how you're going to make a lot of money right now. So we have a couple of guys in the Marty Party chat, one of which his name's Angel.